Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Layton. Today is February 27th, 2026, and we are at 86 Mill Road. And we have the camera pushed out 95 feet to the city connection, and now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So that's the city line that you're seeing on the screen there. And then this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like a gravel cement pipe. If you look at the very edge, you can see some of that aggregate, the rocks that make up that pipe. A little bit of buildup through here. Not a crazy amount. So far, not enough that I would say it needs to be cleaned. But with rougher pipes like this, or with cast iron, which you have under the house, you want to avoid putting wet wipes or feminine hygiene products, nothing down the line that you don't absolutely need to put down the line. That way it's less likely for it to get stuck and cause a blockage. More build up through here. So far I've not seen any standing water, which is good. Standing water would indicate improper grade, which is never a good thing. I would definitely recommend getting the insurance on this line, and that would help offset the cost if or when there's a bigger issue. We're starting to go underwater about 50 feet out. Actually, I'm going to check one thing. Okay, so it's right about here. Okay. What I was checking is to see if there was a blockage, like a root, or if it slowly goes underwater. And it looks like this one goes slowly underwater, which is what you don't want. That indicates bad grade. With a blockage, it's almost better because you can clear the blockage and then have better flow. With bad grade, the only way to fix that permanently would be to dig it up and re-slope it. Coming out of it already, so 6-7 feet or so. Not ideal, but not incredibly long. I would call that a minor to moderate belly. Big root coming through the joint here. Big enough that I'd recommend it be cleaned out. Also a little bit of an offset where the pipes have shifted. And it looks like this might be the transition where it goes under the foundation. 42 feet out, that would make sense. This is cast iron, which is what's under the house. Cast iron gets real rough and rusty and will eventually need to be replaced or have a liner blown in. But I'd recommend having that cleaned and then evaluated again. There's a lot more that you can see once it's been properly cleaned, but there's enough buildup and scale that I think that would be a good idea to do sooner than later. Right here we're coming up the roof stack, so nothing more to see on the screen. But to recap, looks decent overall for the age. You do have some roots, you do have a lot of buildup on the cast iron. It is the original pipe, and so I'd recommend getting the insurance, and I'd recommend getting it cleaned. You do have some standing water, so you don't have the best grade, but it wasn't an incredibly long belly. Never ideal to have any standing water, but it wasn't the worst. Next step here, I'd recommend getting it cleaned and getting the insurance. I'm going to end this recording now.